Okay, Thursday. Welcome to Kinda New Math. Bad grammar. Welcome to Kind of New Math. We've seen before the coordinate grid system. We've plotted our points. Today we're going to apply it a little bit. What do I mean by apply it a little bit? Now you can see also down here, don't forget there are negative numbers we talked about, even though for the most part in fifth grade you're only going to have to deal in quadrant 1. But today you're going to have to deal with a little bit of negative numbers. Stay with me. I put 2 points on my grid. This is the origin, 0, 0 is the origin, so I put a spot at 5, 5, ordered pair 5, 5, I go across 5, up 5. I put a point, 10, 7. I went across 10, up to 7, put my point at 10, 7. We know how to do that. You're actually very good at it. For today, the first part of your directions is to start thinking about the coordinate grid and applying what you know. A lot of cities and towns in the world, if you look at New York City, Philadelphia, they're built in a grid type system. You walk down the first block, in New York you walk down 1st Street, 2nd Street, 3rd Street, 4th Street, 5th Street, 195th Street, and literally the streets look like this. It's just a crisscross of blocks. This is how GPS works. It's exactly how GPS works. Every spot on the earth has a coordinate. Latitude and longitude is a coordinate grid system. Now, for what you're going to do first today is you're going to be given some points to plot, but they're going to be places. So if you can imagine point 5, 5 is my house. You can even draw a little house on the box if you want. Point 10, 7, ordered pair 10, 7, X is first, Y, 10, 7 is school. So here's my house, and here's school. And we're going to start trying to figure out the quickest way to get places in a grid system. Now, in a grid, or in a city street, if you can imagine, you can't cut through somebody's yard. You can't cut through a building that's on the corner of a street. So you have to walk along the grid. So, for instance, if I said, how long does it take me to walk to school? From my house, I would walk 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I would have to walk 7 blocks to get to school. How long would it take me to walk to school and back? It's going to be 7 blocks this way, 7 blocks that way. I can't diagonally cut through places. All right? So what first thing you're going to be doing is giving a whole bunch of places. Now there's going to be a post office, there's going to be a grocery store, there's going to be the town hall, and your first thing you're going to be doing is plotting all of these points first and labeling them so that you know which one is which. Okay? You could even put house, school when you're gridding. The second page of what you have to do is start figuring out, okay, what's the most efficient way to get from my house to school to the post office and back home? Which means maybe you're going to school, then you've got to get to the post office, and then you've got to get back home again. Something like that. That's what you're going to be doing today. Now, another quick thing you need to know. Here's point 22, ordered pair 2, 2. Here's ordered pair, where is it? -2, 2. When you have to plot in the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th quadrants, remember this is 0, 0. You're always going across first, then up and down. You got to walk to the elevator before you go up and down the elevator. If you have to figure out the difference between how to get from here to here, it's actually what's called absolute value. Okay, that's a big fancy math term that you don't have to know really what it means yet, but absolute value means the difference. If I have to get from 2 to -2, it's still going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 places. Absolute value is just counting from that particular spot to this particular spot. Doesn't matter if it's positive or negative, it's the difference between them. If the temperature is 5 degrees outside and it goes to -5 degrees, well, the difference between them is 10. That's called the absolute value. That's like 7th, 8th, maybe even high school kind of word for math. Okay, it's just the difference between them. The difference between -1 degree in 1 degree, negative 1 degree, 1 degree is 2 degrees. That's the difference. That's called the absolute value. So wherever you're plotting your points in that grid, first thing you're going to be doing is plotting places on the grid, and then the second page is going to have you apply how are you going to get to different places in the grid. Yeah? Yeah. Okay? We're applying what we know about the coordinate grid instead of drawing dinosaurs in Dragon Ball Z people. Okay? Let me know if you have any questions with that, but go back to the video, plot your points, figure out what you're doing, figure out where you're going, and it's just important to know that you have to travel in straight lines, not diagonals through the grid. Good.